Welcome back to our Retire Early lifestyle at home or abroad. Glad you're here. Beyond the beach views, we have one very important issue that no one wants to talk about: security risks for foreigners. Crime targeted specifically towards expats is often swept under the rug by most of the move abroad promotions. Street crime against foreigners is off the charts in the top 10 global index countries, and in some of them, the violent home invasions and robberies are also off the charts. Travel promoters do not want to touch this with a 10-foot pole for obvious reasons, but there is a lot to know beyond the ocean views. Home invasion robberies and assaults of foreigners are prevalent in these countries we're going to talk about in this video. As you will see, they have a lot of crime. That's why we listed them here today. Number 1, Colombia. Colombia has gone through the ringer, or should we say wash, rinse, and repeat, meaning the coming and leaving of expats traveling there in recent years, and the crime targeted against the expat is quite prevalent, especially those that use online dating apps. The website Travel and Tour is reporting that Colombia has become more dangerous for women alone, along with these other Latin American countries. In Bogota, Cartagena, and Medellin, women are advised to be cautious when using dating apps, avoid meeting in isolated locations, and tell friends where they are going. Violence is an issue. Muggings and armed robberies occur on the streets, buses, taxis, restaurants, and shopping malls, even in safer areas. Criminals use weapons without hesitation, so authorities recommend handing over your valuables without resistance and avoiding deserted areas or traveling alone after dark. Pickpocketing and purse snatching are frequent, and drive-by theft on motorcycles happens in both affluent and poorer districts. We have to go a step further and say, you must go beyond telling your friends where you're going. That's silly, because it's simply not enough protection. Think about this. So you tell your friends where you're going, and she calls you in a panic and says, "Come and get me, hurry." And by the time you get there to go save her, she's already disappeared from this world. Reality is, women should not be going anywhere alone in Colombia, and especially without a male accompanying her. 2 or 3 females together are not going to be as safe as they think from a group of organized thugs either. But anyway, the targeting is horrific in Colombia, and behaving showy will pretty much seal the deal for you. Just a few months ago, an incredibly stupid American was flaunting his valuables in Medellin and was incredibly lucky that he survived the assault. He was in this lower income neighborhood, the report states, and probably thinking, it doesn't really seem that unsafe here. And so he wore a bunch of gold chains and watches worth over $100,000 and was robbed. But he was incredibly lucky. Looks like the police nabbed the thieves and he got his bling bling back too. Here's the thing. Most neighborhoods where there are many tourists and things to do, they don't really seem unsafe, and you will feel safe, but that doesn't mean you're safe. Thievery type crimes are very prevalent living anywhere in Colombia, good or bad neighborhood, it doesn't matter. Remember, the thieves go where the tourists patronize and foreign residents live. Number 2, Paris. France has mucho targeting of foreigners. They watch for rich-looking people that are wearing flashy jewelry and flaunt their wealth, and there are plenty of them that go to France for vacations. Don't give in to the mistake that you're in Europe, and so you can wear your gold chains, Rolex watches, and diamond rings. Even fake ones are not a good idea anywhere abroad, even in France. And we speak from personal knowledge of expats robbed at gunpoint. For what? Yes, they're fake rings and earrings. In France, the organized crime rings begin targeting certain foreigners the minute they get off the plane. They have operatives staking out the wealthy-looking folks at the airports. Is that you? The French Riviera has criminal elements that start tracking people at the airports in Nice, or Toulon. It is possible that the person is then followed from the airport on the way to the villa or hotel, then onward to restaurants, clubs, or walks in town. Criminals work together to visit the villas once the occupants leave, especially if doors and windows are open and unlocked and items are left out in the open. These criminals are usually armed, and if you resist, they won't hesitate to use whatever weapon they have. Maybe it's a knife, a hammer, a wine bottle, whatever. Remember, you're the target, and once they start targeting, they are on a mission. It's like going to work at your job. Their job is to make sure the mission is possible, and that involves doing what they need to do to take the valuables they want so badly. Here's more crime information for tourists going to France. The majority of crimes directed against foreign visitors, including U.S. citizens, involve pickpocketing, residential break-ins, and other forms of theft with minimal violence. However, robberies involving physical assault do occur in Paris and other major urban areas. Though these crimes are more likely to involve violence on the street late at night or when the victim detects the theft and resists the criminal. Number 3, Costa Rica. The secluded little beachy towns with 500 foreigners living there probably gets targeted the most. Costa Rica is a beautiful country with wonderful beaches, but beyond the beach views, danger is lurking in the shadows in Costa Rica. It's strange because we still get Costa Rica peddlers pushing these secluded little 15,000 population towns, and they're dangerous. Costa Rica is the best. Pura vida! Yes, maybe 20 years ago, before it became an expat's paradise, these expat paradises also become a thieves' paradise. In 2025, we covered 5 expat home invasions of North Americans that happened in Costa Rica, and unfortunately, they all ended up in a tragic and terrible way. Fast forward to 2026, we've already started off the new year in a terrible way when it comes to foreigners being targeted in Costa Rica. Just last month, in February 2026, a renowned surfer and Costa Rican hotel owner from California was killed in a home invasion. We can safely say that Costa Rica is a no-go country for right now unless you dress down, speak Spanish, and keep a low profile. Very low profile. You don't want to be the one who is targeted by the bad apples for any reason and then followed, cased out, and home invaded, because that's what these gangs do. They organized home invasions against foreign residents and tourists. It's how they make a living. Embassy officials report that criminal organizations in Costa Rica are using Airbnb cleaning staff to provide information on when a house listed for tourists and what is inside the home, and see if there's anything there worth taking. Computers, cell phones. Number 4, Spain. They're reporting right now that Spain is having a tourist target epidemic. It's like a disease, and if you don't do anything about it, it just grows bigger and bigger. Tourists and foreign residents are targeted greatly in Spain. Street crime has gone up almost 50%, and they're reporting that most street crimes are against foreign tourists and expats. Spain's biggest tourist city saw a surge of pickpocketing in 2025, with Barcelona police reporting that nearly half of all the reported crime in the city is theft. Specifically, 48% of Barcelona's crimes involving pickpockets. So if you really like your phone, you might want to consider leaving it behind when you go to Spain. Just a suggestion. But we listed Spain in this video not because of the pickpocketing, but because of the prevalence of home invasions and robberies of foreigners in foreigner enclaves. Murders and kidnappings grip millionaires' playground in Spain. There's a violent crime wave unfolding right under tourists' noses in Spain's Costa del Sol. Foreigner enclaves are targeted specifically for invading homes and robbing people blind. 2 alleged members of a professional robbery gang have been arrested in Marbella after raiding at least 9 tourist flats. These British people said that their expat paradise turned to hell. Tourists are getting robbed left and right. Why are expats and tourists targeted? Because they are known to have valuables on them, and many of them are probably wearing them around town and they see it. You can't do that. Spain has become a notorious hotbed of targeted Westerners on vacation and foreign residents. Number 5, Thailand. You're probably thinking, what? Thailand is safer than Mexico. Why are you listing Thailand for? Thailand is an anomaly and is not as safe as people like to portray it. Perhaps in time past, but not today, the internet has a way of rehashing very old information into new information if it still sounds good, even though it's no longer true. One of the very first single female murders that we talked about and covered on our channel was in Thailand, and then a few more surfaced of solo single travelers to Thailand. Last month, a British chef was robbed in his home in Pattaya, Thailand, by a group of thieving thugs. He was in the home when it happened. The Brit caught them in the act, and one of the robbers held a knife to his neck while they stole a safe with 2 million baht, which converts to $62,000. In another incident a few months earlier, a German couple were home invaded in southern Thailand. The thieves went through the roof and attacked the couple with a liquor bottle. Fortunately, the worst of it was just a few lacerations on their heads, but it could have turned out much more tragic. They were incredibly lucky. And just a month before that, an American lawyer was struck by a car while he was driving his motorcycle. While he was still on the ground trying to figure out what happened, a gang of 3 thieves snatched his $72,000 Rolex off his wrist. He was shaken up a bit, but unharmed. And Thailand has mucho street crimes of expats and tourists. High tourist numbers leads to a lot of theft and scams. There are scams after scams after scams over there. And by the way, there are other countries that have a problem with street crime against the tourists, such as Italy, Brazil, Ecuador, Mexico, Portugal, and others. They all have a lot of crimes against the foreigner. But why did we pick these 5 as the most dangerous? Well, because you hear more crime news against the foreigner coming out of these 5 countries. They are in the top 10 most popular country list, by the way. So why is there all of this crime against tourists? You're traveling to a country where some people don't even make $10,000 a year. That would be Thailand and other Latin American countries. And then foreigners come waltzing into town wearing flashy clothing, expensive cell phones, and expensive cameras hanging off their neck, and they just become targets for valuables and their bling. It's that simple. And no, we're not defending thievery because it's very wrong and these people don't have any morals. They have lost sight of goodness. And seriously, they start out with doing petty crimes like, petty street crime. But if they have no soul, they will graduate to worse things. And well, you don't want to be around that. We've noticed most people aren't really that aware of what is going on around them. When you realize you're a target from the get-go, that's the first step. Then you need to remember that you are probably being watched and analyzed as you go about your day in a foreign country. That's what the thieves do. Really, to minimize almost all risk is to become aware of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Stop and ask yourself, should I be getting money out of this off-the-street ATM right now? Should I be pulling out this money clip in the Mercado with hundreds of dollars clipped to it? These are things that you have to be aware of. We do these things in our own home country, but when we go abroad, they are a no-no, plain and simple. Actually, they are a no-no anywhere. That's what the cliche of staying aware means, but people are desensitized to the staying aware narrative. They think staying aware is having 2 eyes and seeing if anyone looks suspicious. These gangs of thieves are professionals. They know what they're doing and they don't look suspicious. They look like everyone else. As you can see, these countries have a lot of crime. That's why we listed them here today. You may have found our picks shocking, so let us know in the comments. But we have to tell you, one crime against anyone, anywhere is one too many in our book. So you can stay aware when you go abroad, or you can stay aware before you even go abroad. The choice is yours, and we hope you stay safe. Thanks for watching, take care, and bye-bye.